Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing this July the 12th, 2025. Early afternoon cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, gold and silver bullion video. They've come to expect, love, need, and deserve. But you can see where we have a severe thunderstorm currently moving over the great state of Michigan, just north of downtown Detroit, inside the Vincenzo mobile compound in the great state of Michigan, right? So you're just gonna have to bear with that. And as we look at this on here, you can see we're consolidating this weekend after the magnificent pump and nearly hitting $120,000 in the Bitcoin price, and potentially now coming to our $152,000 target, respecting this rising channel that we've been in. If you can see this rising channel, see that? It's respecting it, and we might be pushing up like our upper track says, which if you do notice, the upper track does have a big correction in it, but it has the big correction, which is typical for Bitcoin at 153,000, then having its prototypical $60,000 dump back to the $73,000 level, right? So that's very interesting, and we're going to continue to watch it this weekend to see if we don't just continue to pump next week, as all the major institutions have been buying Bitcoin and Ethereum in the ETF. So now the major corporations are buying up all the Bitcoin specifically and Ethereum. And who owns those ETFs? The retail trader. So now the retail trader and most of the people investing in their 401ks, as they can buy ETFs, they're paying fees to asset managers now to own Bitcoin and Ethereum instead of just going into the open market on their own and buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now the big corporations are profiting off of the retail trader not having confidence enough to just going into the open market on a trading site like a Coinbase and buying their own Ethereum and Bitcoin and taking custody of their own coin. They're paying asset managers now to facilitate their buys by putting it into an ETF, right? So the big corporations are getting rich off of fees and collecting fees to operate these funds that the retail traders are buying instead of just buying the underlying asset themselves. So that's very interesting. So we're going to watch on this consolidation, obviously in the daily, on any kind of consolidation, the 50-day moving average is your bullish support, followed by the 100-day and the 200-day below it. You don't get short to medium-term bearish until you get below the 200-day moving average in the daily time frame. So that's a lot of work underneath the price. You're very bullish right now on the Bitcoin price, and it looks like the consolidation is probably over, which I would have to concede that now. After that 33% consolidation, it looks like we're just going to pump to the next leg with all the institutional buying, at least in the Bitcoin price, more than likely over the next several months to 152,000, right? Could it still change? Yes. We'll stay on top of it, but all indications in the short term now, unless something drastic changes on a sell-off and major news with tariffs coming back, and that's the existential thing. If Trump actually does put the tariffs back in, you'll see risk assets, the stock market, and crypto probably have a brief, harsh sell-off like it did earlier in the springtime when he at first announced that he was going to do the tariffs. The Ethereum price has hit the $3,074 target. As you can see, that it's been on the upside of all three moving averages, and now you're consolidating just below it. Now what you would look for is on this consolidation to get above the 3,074, hold the bottom part of this support zone, and then start to trade up and then make another run and try to breach out of a major resistance zone at $3,400, right? And as long as you're above the 200-day moving average, you're very bullish, right, in the Ethereum price. And maybe we can finally come and breach the 2024 high in Ethereum, and with all this new buying, actually breach the all-time high, something in this last bull run at the beginning we didn't do. And then we had that massive consolidation, so maybe this time we'll break the all-time high. XLM is the same thing. It had a phenomenal pump. It's now on top of the green support zone. It almost came to this 43 cents, something that we theorized would happen, but we thought it would come from the 18 cents, right? It almost got down there. You can see back here, it got down to about 20 cents. We thought it would come to 18 cents and then shoot up to 43 cents. It did it before. It hasn't hit the 43 cents yet, but it might now. And now what you would look for this to stay short-term bullish is obviously clone above the 200-day moving average and stay on top of the 50 and the 36 cents, or this top part of the green trading zone, you can now try to use this green trading zone as support. And if it does, you'll kick up to this 43 cents. And then that'll be your next support and resistance level. If you break back on this consolidation below the 50, then that brings the 200-day moving or the 100-day moving average or the 31 cents as a support level. But right now, on this consolidation to stay short-term bullish, all we're looking to do is stay above this 36 cents. The XRP is the same thing. You can see we almost wicked up to this $3.02, something that we talked about. What happened if you broke the $2.55 major upper resistance, which you did? You flew by it just like Ethereum. You wicked up to about, I believe about 297 was the swing high, just below the 302. And now what you're looking at in the daily time frame to stay short-term bullish is you're looking to stay above the $2.55 level is now your new major support level that you're looking to stay above to stay short-term bullish, and then make a run at that $3.02 level. Obviously, we had a bullish cross with the 50 going over the 100. So that's your new area. You're looking to stay above the 255 to stay short-term bullish, right? And then to get long-term bullish, you're looking to take over now next to 302 and then the previous swing high, and then clear the 340 range and continue to the upside, right? The AMP, we're hoping that this might be the time that we can now, as we're just above the 50-day in the daily, we're going to look to swing through the 100 and 200, hold them as support, and then bounce above this 0.0055, and then potentially move up to the top part of this resistance zone, which would be better than 100% move from where you're at now. Algo is the same thing. We got rejected by the 24 cent with that wick, which is very technical. We're consolidating now, and what we're going to look like on this consolidation